last night. Both you and Rose put on an amazing show. I was very impressed with both of you tonight. Were you surprised that Rose wanted to, or actually stood that much with you?
A little bit, because usually when people say they're going to stand with you, that means they're going to really try to take you down. But I knew that she came from a martial arts background and she had a good stand-up, but we just weren't able to see it yet. So her actually doing it with me made it really fun for me. I like that most of the fight was in the middle of the cage as opposed to being on the cage. It was a lot different from the other fights I had, and her skill level was a lot different. So it was an honor to fight her, and to beat her was really nice too. But I'm just really happy about the fight, and I think it went how I wanted it to go.
Keisha, to follow up on that, there were a couple of times when Rose went for submissions, and of course we all saw the flying armbar last time. Was that something in the back of your mind worried about, or did you feel like you were never in any trouble at any point?
I felt like I was in trouble in the first round with the armbar. That was the scariest moment of the fight. But actually when she moved it like underneath her arm, I thought it was going to get even tighter. It was tight, but that actually made it a little bit easier for me to get out. So I was surprised that I was able to get out. It made me more confident in my jiu-jitsu now, I guess. But it was a really tough fight. That was the only point where I felt like I was in trouble. Besides that, I felt very comfortable, and it was definitely a tough fight, but I felt really good about it.
Got a question from Leslie, from Mark. He apparently thinks that it's you and Barb on check.
Yes,
Time. Yes,
that has been confirmed.
Y'all may or have already discussed that, and I apologize for being late. What are your expectations about that bout, and how do you feel about it going in?
Barb's name is Little Warrior, so I expect she's going to bring it. I think that she's solid in all areas, but tonight Jennifer Maia was solid in all areas. It was one of the funnest fights that I've ever fought. She was smart from the outside. She had flurries coming in. She had ground. So, I mean, it's going to take a lot to top tonight's fight for me because it was just the most exciting fight. So I'm expecting, Barb. She's not the champion for no reason,
Right.
So I'm sure she's the full package. But I doubt that there's going to be a whole lot that I haven't dealt with yet, especially after tonight, because Jennifer Maia was amazing.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, we will let these athletes go, and we'll bring
Triple whip.
all right, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for questions. And if you're in the back, I'm blinded, so I can't see you.
Beck, you're a fan favorite here in Kansas City. You always have been. There were a lot of Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi chants all throughout the fight. And, the crowd was disappointed it didn't go your way tonight, but give us your overall thoughts on how the fight went.
I guess I learned my lesson, don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Ziki was tough, she's 18 years old and she's, an amazing athlete. So, I'm disappointed. I hate losing. I'm like a sore loser. Take my ball and go home. But I guess, I could have done better. Always learn more from a loss than I do a win. So just back to the drawing board.
So you're going to come back the next fight with more punchy?
Of course. I'm always aiming to punch someone in the face. I guess I did that tonight. It just wasn't good enough.
All right, fair enough.
Do you feel like you won the first and third rounds?
Yeah, I feel like my dominant position at the end of round one won me that round, and round three, I got in my groove. I always say if it was a fight to the death, I'd win because I'm stubborn. I'm just like a robot and just keep going. But I ran out of time, and I feel like I won rounds 1 and 3. But obviously the judges saw it different, and Mizuki was good. Like she brought it to me. She said she was going to stand and bang, and I'm like, they all say how, but she did. So it's a good fight. But
everything that's coming in?
Yeah, obviously I'm used to in wrestling holidays, and I'm known as a striker holidays, so it was in the back of my head and I felt it a wee bit. I wasn't as on the ball, but I still got the win at the end of the day.
Anybody else have questions?
Another one from Mark. Shannon, have you decided what titles will be defended at the next event?
No, not exactly yet, but in the next couple of days, this has been a really busy time for us. I mean, it seems like, we just turned a year old and it's been nonstop. So, I think I need to take a step back and kind of look at a lot of things, right? In the next couple of weeks and just see what we're going to do, what our next date is, and all that kind of stuff. So, but I will be sure to let you know, I promise.
Are you growing fast enough? Are you growing too quickly, or how's the pace of the advancement of Invicta going for you? I mean,
Wow.
how do you feel about that?
It's just like, wow, just wow. With that fast, I mean, we have grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, can you name any other promotion out there that's been in business for a year, over the years that just went like we have?
No.
It's amazing, and that growth, I'm a tightwad. We do, my staff is really, it's not being a tightwad, it's more about looking at the budget to sustain the organization, to make sure each one of these athletes have what they need. So we've had a lot of growing pains. I certainly need more staff, we need, a lot of things, but those are things I want to reflect on. We're going to make some steps forward in the next few weeks, so.
Does the big talent, such as Cyborg, come to you? Are you going after them? I mean,
Well, you have to understand, Cyborg was one of my athletes as well as Magnus Kuhn
Sure.
as a matchmaker at Strikeforce. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, where I went, they followed, and I'm delighted to have them because, in my opinion, and yes, I'm going to say this is on the record, that those two athletes are the baddest athletes in the world at that heavier weight division. I mean, it's just. I was giddy, okay, and I don't get giddy. But when that fight, when they were ready to fight, I was absolutely giddy with excitement. I wanted to see that rematch for, I matched the first one and I was there. I wanted to see this, and to have that fight under, my banner was unbelievable for me.
generally speaking, what's next?
Pardon me?
Generally speaking, what's next?
Well, like I said, we're going to take a couple weeks and we're going to, figure some things out, and then we're going to make a bunch of noise again, because that's what we do.
In town here in Kansas City?
Yeah. Kansas City is Invicta's home, and, our office, the promotion will be here. We'd like to venture out, of course, but, we also want to make sure it's a good deal, because I think, a lot of times people don't understand that once you pick a show up and you start moving around, you incur all these costs, and, we want it to be smart about it, so.
I'm going to piggyback on that, but I'm going to get a little more specific, and I'm sure everyone here has thought about it, but hasn't asked it yet. So can you talk a little bit about all the rumors that have flown around about the Showtime deal?
I get this all the time. The thing is that everybody sees that spot over there because it's vacant. And anytime that Steven Espinoza goes out and says something nice about Invicta, the rumors run rampant. So, and I think it's because we're the only ones who say anything nice about it, which is very flattering, but
But we're hearing it from multiple sources, and that's the only reason why I'm asking.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
And I
I can
appreciate that,
be
but
really political, but yeah, nothing is set in stone in any direction. What we want here in Invicta is we want a partner, someone that believes in what we're doing and is vested in it to help get behind and promote and, build a sports franchise for these athletes, because it's important.